Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video of Marvel Contest of Champions. We will be running today 7.1.4 Energy Adoption, Ice and Fissure. So you will need champions who have cold snap immunity, and there will be some defenders for which you will also need bleed and poison immunity. So champions like Colossus will be amazing here, or champions like Human Torch, Mephisto, and as always Quake and Ghost are the anomalies. They will work here amazing. Ghost will do amazing here. If you can play Ghost, bring in Ghost. Apart from that, some champions, some tech champions will do amazing here because there is a node here that is called Fortification. So if any of your tech champion, as long as they have an armor up buff, they are immune to bleed, they are immune to poison and cold snap. So champions like Guardian, Warlock, Glee 29 and Civil Warrior will work amazing. Your boss is going to be a very tanky Juggernaut with Caustic Temper, so once we get there we will discuss more into it. So before we jump into the path guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, like the video, all of that really helps me out a lot. My team for this path is going to be a Colossus, and I am going to bring in Omega Red just for synergy, and there's going to be a Human Torch with Warlock and just a cheat death with Heimdall. So the first fight is going to be against Havok, so you can bring in any champion with an armor up buff, or you can bring in with somebody with power drain, not power steal because that's not power lock, that's not gonna work against him. So for me, as I have a Colossus and with Omega Red, I brought him in with every armor up buff on Colossus. I will get 2% extra damage, so he will make short work of Havok here. You can use any tech champion as well. A Guardian will work amazing as well. All the viable champions are mentioned on the right side, and I would also suggest you to use a 200% boost and cycle through your L2s faster if you're going to use a tech champion. So again, it's upon you guys what champions you choose. I just brought in Colossus because he is armor break immune, so the Fissure node will not affect him, and also he is cold snap immune. Next fight is going to be against a Morningstar. Now with Morningstar, you have to make sure that you bring in a bleed immune champion if you're not going to use any tech champions. Bleed immune champion is also immune to cold snap, will work amazingly well here. I'm going to bring in Human Torch. Now Human Torch, we all know, is not immune to bleed, but he has energy damage, so he does not proc the bleeds whenever he hits Morningstar. Also, he's amazing against Mystic champion, so he will bring her down really fast. You've noticed that I got hit in the beginning, and because of the Fissure node that applies armor break on you once the defender hits you, is helping me actually to regain back power because I also run willpower 3x3. So that's also another thing. If you use a non-robotic champion and you get hit and you get an armor break, you can use it to keep healing in that fight. Apart from that, it's a pretty straightforward fight. You can also use a Colossus here, you can also use a Ghost. There is another option of using Quake as well, or any tech champion, Guardian or Gilly 29 that have an armor up. The fortification will give you extra furies and also will keep you immune to cold snap and bleeds. Next up, you have an Iceman, who is a pretty quick fight at this point. The only thing I would suggest you guys is to make sure that you push him to an SP2 always, because it's easier to wait in my opinion. If not, if you're gonna push him to an SP1 and bait SP1 out, try to block it, because sometimes you will just get hit. But you don't need to worry about it if you're gonna bring in an immune champion for cold snap. Like in my case, I am using a Colossus, so even if I get hit by his L1 beam, I'm just gonna get an armor up buff, so it's all win when you're using Colossus. But again, depending on what kind of champion you have or your rosters, just make sure you bring in a cold snap champion. It's a pretty straightforward and fast fight. And then we have Abomination. Now, with Abomination, whenever you hit into him, when you strike him, he has a chance to apply poison on you. So you need to bring a champion that is poison immune and cold snap immune as well. In our case, it is going to be a Warlock who's cold snap immune and poison immune. Apart from that, there are a couple of more champions I can think about. There, you can use a Mephisto, who is also poison and cold snap immune, or you can bring in Emma Frost. When she goes into a diamond form, she is immune as well. If not, you can always bring in champions that can shrug off different debuffs, but sometimes the chance is low, so they don't shrug them off. Yeah, Quake will work amazingly here. Ghost will work really well here. She will start converting all of those cold snap and poison charges into passive furies, and you will see like big criticals like 15,000 or 20,000. As I'm not going to use Ghost and Quake because they are high skill champions, I'm just going to bring in Warlock. If you don't have any of these options, you can go with any tech champion that has armor up, permanent armor up buff. So like a Guardian or like Gilly 2099, like Civil Warrior. These are the champions that have permanent armor up buffs. So because there's a helpful node fortification, it until you have an armor up buff on you, your tech champions will be immune to bleed, poison, and cold snap, so that will help you out. Going to be a Cyclops, new Xavier schools, a red one, and again it's a pretty simple and straightforward fight. The only thing you need to take care about is the cold snap that will be applied because of the node energy adoption ice. So if you bring in a cold snap champion, you'll be able to manage that. So all you need to take care about is SP1 beam, because sometimes it's tricky to evade. You might get clipped by it and you might lose a lot of health. In my case, I brought in a Colossus who is immune to armor break, so even if I get hit with the beams, I will not lose that much health because I will not be armor broken. Apart from that, guys, just try to push him to an SP2, and if you do, it's easier because you get time to set yourself up, and it's a pretty easy and simple fight. Just bring him down. The final boss is going to be a very tanky Juggernaut who will have unblockable specials, and also he will have caustic temper. Now if you're unaware about caustic temper, is you need to have a fury to deal him 100% damage, otherwise your damage will be reduced by 90%. And also with caustic temper, if you hit into the defender, there is a chance that he will apply a poison on you. So ideally you will need a champion that is poison immune and can also apply furies. Now the best champion that I can think of that I have in my roster is going to be a Hyperion. There are other options as well that you can use. You can use a She-Hulk. You can also use Captain Marvel movie version, and there's also Medusa. If you combine Medusa with a Black Bolt synergy, she will have always rotating fury, so that will help you as well. There's another node that really helps you. It's called the Rising Sun. Now with that, whenever you hit the opponent, you get the fury on you. Up till 10 furies you don't get any damage, but as soon as you jump more than 10 furies you get a degen on you. But you can also dispel those furies with a heavy attack. So champions like She-Hulk really excel here, because you can just use her heavy attack to apply slow on the Juggernaut that will negate his unblockable and unstoppable, and also will remove all the extra furies from the Rising Sun. Same thing, you can use Gladiator Hulk as well, as all the degens from the furies are passive, so his face me will be activated and he will not take much damage at all. In the same way, you can bring in some other synergies that are also helpful. You can bring in Heimdall with either Angela or Hela and get that fury as well if you're not comfortable with working around with Rising Sun. Once you have that, you can also bring in Captain America Infinity War with a skill champion, so anytime he is poisoned, that will be shrugged off. So there's quite a few options that you can use around here. And there is another final node here that is called Juke. So every time you use a 5-hit combo, you get a passive fury, and those furies can go up to 10. Now the trick here is you need to alternate your 5-hit combos. You have to go medium, light, and then the next combo needs to be medium, light, medium. If you see right now, I have 5 furies right here on Hyperion, so I'm trying to bring them up as well so I can deal more damage to Juggernaut, and he's very tanky and you need all the help you can get with the furies. I would suggest if you have a 6-star champion who is poison immune, bring him, because he will also get extra damage from the global node that is 6-star power. Again, this is one of the tankiest boss of 7.1. He does take a little time to get down, but once you get hold of him, you understand how to counter him. He is a pretty straightforward and easy fight. I hope you guys enjoyed the tips and tricks for this path. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment down below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. All of that helps me out a lot. And apart from that, guys, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.